tone, but fuck it, we're just gonna go with it.
Yeah, just
Hey
go.
everyone, hey everyone, and welcome to the first episode of Straight Outta Mobius. I'm your host Angelos,
And I'm your other host, Zora.
and what we'll be doing here is every week we'll be reading through 15 issues of the Archie Sonic comic. Both of us, mostly for the first time, we've both read some parts of it, but we'll get into that. So we thought we'd start off by going through what each of our familiarity with the franchise in general is. Zora, if you want to go first.
Okay, so I have medium knowledge on Sonic the Hedgehog. I've played a few of the Sonic games. I've only more recently branched out into more of them, playing Sonic 1 through 3. Still
Oh,
haven't beaten
finished.
3. Yeah, but I'm going to before we get to the Knuckles introduction. So other than that, I've played games like Colors and mostly the Boost era of Sonic the Hedgehog. So it's a bit interesting going back to the originals. And as for the comics, I've read IDW all the way up to the end of the Metal Virus saga, and I've read some of Archie, mainly Sonic Universe when they go over the Silver Saga.
Yeah, you do love
Versus,
Silver.
yeah, I do love Silver. Silver's definitely my favorite, and I'm excited to see a few villains like Scourge and Enerjack, because I only know bits and pieces, so it's gonna be nice to see where they started from. But that's my general knowledge.
Yeah. So for me, I've pretty much been a Sonic fan since I was like 7. Started off with the greatest game of all time, Sonic and the Secret Rings. Just kidding. That game just it's all right. It's whatever. A little overhated. Not that good either. But I've pretty much played every main series game, most of the spin-off games. I've read all of IDW. I think except for the Halloween special. I keep forgetting to read that because it's just like the most nothing thing ever. But for Archie, I read like the issue 50 arc Endgame. I've read both Mega Man crossovers, and I think I've read something else, but I can't remember it off the top of my head. So yeah, we were both just like, hey, we should just read Archie for the first time, right?
Yeah, it just would be kind of interesting to go over all the fucking the gag stuff at the
Yeah,
start. It's like
it's just so weird, especially because I also for the first time I watched the first episode of Sat AM. So I'm like, let me get some introduction out of this, not realizing that Archie actually started a few months before Sat AM and Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. So
so
this is
disorienting.
technically the intro to all these guys in the franchise, and I'm just like, what the, like, what the hell?
The sheer amount of differences between the two is like, whoa, no,
Yeah,
definitely was before.
yeah, but it's like it feels like it's kind of a combination of Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog and Sat AM, but also honestly, I feel like okay, I haven't watched Adventures in a long time, but it feels like sometimes that show keeps itself more grounded than this comic does, which is kind of crazy.
hmm This comic feels like a lot like a gag comic strip type thing
Yeah,
like what you would see in newspapers and be
like
like, oh,
Garfield
that
the
was
extended.
yeah, exactly. It's like you would read the comic strip and you'd be like, oh, that was funny, I didn't need any previous context.
Yeah.
It's like you could definitely hop into this whenever if you just hopped in straight at number 15 and be like, oh, that's cool, you already kind of know the
Mhm.
characters.
Yeah, it was definitely weird to see. Also, I've never seen so much, I guess, consistent of art of the Western Sonic design with the Mohawk quills, which I do like the Mohawk quills sometimes, but sometimes it's like, especially when he faces forward in some of these panels, it's like looking at Phineas from Phineas and Ferb dead on. It's like, what am I looking at? Why is it?
Dude,
Why
it's
is his
so
spike so
bad.
straight?
Yeah, because you'll look at the side view and it'll be on the level of his ear, right? But then when you see
Hmm.
the front facing, the mohawk suddenly just spikes up and it's like that doesn't look right. That
Yeah.
that doesn't that doesn't seem how that would that's what that would look like if you compared his
Hmm.
side view to his front facing view. It's like why'd they just make that higher? I guess it's cool for the mohawk look, but it just doesn't look right from
Yeah,
a
especially since it's so flat. Because you're just like,
Mhm.
why, where are the side like quill? I understand it's because the Western design was, but still. Um,
Yeah.
but I guess everyone else honestly was pretty much on point with their Western designs, except for Sally in issue 0 and Robotnik in issue 0 too. Because
It's
yeah,
so
Robotnik doesn't
yeah.
have the black eyes.
It's so disorienting every time I see him with the white eyes. I'm looking back at the screenshot I have
Yeah,
and I'm just like, "Oh my God, he
he's
looks
like, why
so
do you
weird
look
with the
like
white
that?
eyes."
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I'm used to Game Eggman having the white eyes, but
Yeah,
Well,
but this
this one,
Robotnik, like he needs to have the black
he
and
needs
red
the black
eyes.
eyes, yeah.
That's like a part of his design.
And then Sally with blonde hair.
Oh
Oh my
my,
god. I mean,
he's a blonde, not a brunette.
even after they changed the hair design, it's still weird because I'm used to her having the jacket that I've
Oh my
been
God, yeah.
used to.
Did you
Yeah,
see like the one bit? I forget which issue specifically it is. It's like a one-off gag where they're like, and our female fatale with her two-piece outfit, and it's
yeah,
just like she's like boots, get
yeah. That
it?
was
Like,
funny.
yeah. I'm like, oh my
It's like, oh
Lord.
my god, guys, come on.
I'm like, put on a jacket, Sally.
You need that jacket, girl. Um,
Mm-hmm.
because some of the gags were just so random. I can't like the Robotnik's backstory. So I think I read the issues before where Robotnik says his actual like Overlander backstory before. So seeing this backstory where he was a kid with Sonic and Uncle Chuck was taking care of him, I was like, I just this is the gag era, so it makes sense for that. But it's just so funny. There's no way it's still canon at this point, but it's just so funny to
Definitely
consider
not.
that at
I
some
thought.
point.
Mm. I thought it was fucking no. I thought it was like insane because like dude starts off like when it flashes back to them being kids, right? He's
Mhm.
making all these little robots, and he he's at fault for the whole situation to begin with Uncle Chuck because he takes the gears like the steering
Mhm.
stuff out of the tractor, and then when Uncle Chuck is like actually warning him and trying to be nice and being like, whoa,
Chill.
watch out. Yeah, he's like, it's all your fault.
He's
It's all your
disgusting.
fault.
Yeah, that's why
Yeah.
he took him away from his hot dog stand. Rest in peace, Uncle Chuck. We'll definitely never see him again.
Yeah, totally. But it's so silly. It's like, dude, you're at fault, and I mean, it literally gets showcased that it's his fault
Yeah,
immediately after when his toy just like immediately throws him under the bus.
yeah. It's just Robotnik has no chill in this. It's crazy.
Mm.
Um. Oh yeah, and I think it was during the miniseries, or it was during one of the first issues. There was like those bumper stickers. And I'm like, I feel bad for any
Uh,
parent whose kid made them put those bumper stickers on that car.
yeah. It's like we discussed, it's like how would you even like go about that?
Right?
Do you
They're
cut that out
paper.
and like
Yeah,
laminate it? Especially back then. Like we got to keep in mind this is like early
this is
2000s, like
definitely like
19.
low paper quality comic. There's no way this is like high quality paper. This is not a
Yeah.
Watchmen series.
Exactly. So you have to laminate it, and laminating back then was probably a bit more expensive than it is right now.
Hmm.
So I imagine, like back then, if a kid was like, "Mom, can we put this on the back of our car?" Like that would just be like straight up paper. They would not be able to
Yeah.
laminate that, and they would just like have to tape that
Also,
to
what
like
would
the
they be
back of the
cutting out?
car.
They'd be cutting out like a page of the actual comic, right? Like it's
Yeah.
like
So like obviously comic value or whatever, but also just like imagine like flipping through that comic afterwards and you just
most of
have
the
that
page is
one
gone.
page where it's like yeah, where it's just like cut up
It's like, why is
pieces.
the outside of this page like no, not the outside, the inside? Why is the inside of this page gone? It's just like the borders are still there.
Yeah, it's like definitely the smart thing to do would just be cut out the whole page, but it's like
Hmm.
let's be honest, as a kid, like you're not going to be thinking about that. So
Yeah.
it's like you just have this one really messed up page because you wanted to cut out these cheesy bumper stickers that
That definitely
like
don't exist anymore.
serve no
Yeah.
purpose. Yeah. It's like those things didn't last at all. I imagine more so kids probably like would cut them out and like put them on like their folders. I think
Yeah.
that would be
That would
like
make sense
cuter.
actually.
Yeah, I think that would be cuter putting it on like your notebook or something. But definitely does not belong on the back of a car unless it's an actual
Bumper
bumper
sticker.
sticker.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah.
There's no way they were selling that back when there was no internet.
Yeah, it's just like I don't know what it is with like these old comics and thinking that like they're so like they've got that
I
hot
am
stuff.
him.
Yeah,
This
they
comic has the energy of thinking they're him. Like with
oh my
Sonic on
God.
issue, I think it was issue 8, where he has all the like Wolverine, Black Panther in like the dust cloud in the back, and the
Oh,
entire issue is Robotnik making knockoff robots, and he's just like, oh, these are losers. I can beat them. Like Captain Marvel.
I was
Like,
about to say, yeah, I know exactly what you were talking about because I wanted to talk about how many references there
dude,
were.
there's
Like,
so many references. Like the Ninja Turtles actually show up. Professor
yes,
X has a
they do.
cameo.
Yeah, because that's during the Tails adventure, right?
Yeah.
That's where they're like mutant Tails, and he's like, "Can I be a part of the team?" And he's like, "We're not
And he's
hiring
wearing
right
some
now."
shitty costume.
I know. I'm sitting there like there's no way.
And it's not even
But like
Tails' only X-Men reference. It's like during when he in I think it's one of the earlier issues is he wants to get movie rights, like because he does one thing and he goes from the X Boys or something.
the X-Boys.
Yeah, wait, I don't remember if this is the movie rights thing, but there was some point where there was like a chart of the comics. It was like X Boys and some other knockoff names for like other comic series. It was so weird.
Mm.
Uh,
There's just too many references. It's insane. Like I think during I'm pretty sure it's issue like 7 or 8. It's when they go to the like musical the
oh
like
yeah, yeah.
yeah the that area where they have all the music instruments. They immediately do like a Peanuts reference at
Yeah.
the end where they're all like playing the instruments, and I'm just like, why
Oh
does this
lord.
why is this comic like it is so it is so like insanely fourth wall breaking and like referency. It feels like it feels more like I'm like reading some kind of like Deadpool Spider-Man type comic because
Yeah,
like
I think the actual Spider-Man Deadpool comic breaks the fourth wall less than this one does.
it's absurd because there's so many times where like during the issue, I believe it's issue like 10 or 9, where they have like the replacement Sonic, the
Oh my
like
gosh,
robotic
Pseudo
Sonic.
Sonic. The
Yeah, Pseudo
first Metal
Sonic.
Sonic in the series is Pseudo Sonic.
It was nice to see. I was fully expecting him to call it like Robo or like Metal Sonic, but then he was like Pseudo, and I was like, okay, good.
It's like
Doesn't
sure.
like affect Metal Sonic. But the funny part to me was Antoine gets like confused thinking that it's normal
Oh yeah,
Sonic, and the panel after he's like, he was a dark silhouette. He
he
was
was
drawn as
shaded.
a dark
Yeah,
silhouette. I couldn't
I
see
couldn't see
him.
him.
Yeah, and then the
Oh,
little panel at the bottom is Antoine's blaming the editors, and I'm just
he's
like, dude.
um,
Why is this so
or
fourth wall breaking?
or when the issue where Scratch and Grounder get introduced and Robotnik grabs Scratch through the panel because he's talking to him through the walkie-talkie.
Yeah, where he's grabbing his throat. I'm
Yeah,
like that. That was more charming. That feels
yeah.
like a Robotnik pick. That was less like in your face in comparison to the rest of the fourth wall breaks.
Hmm.
But I speaking of introductions, right? So we got to see Scratch and Grounder, but the the introduction that threw me for a loop was Snively,
Oh,
where
Snively, yeah. He was
Snively, yeah.
introduced in the Christmas Carol adaptation.
Yeah, I know. That's what set me off.
Yeah,
I was sitting there like there's no way they introduce him in the Christmas Carol like gag one
yeah.
shot.
I was like,
Like this is when he gets introduced.
yeah.
I thought he was
I was
and
like,
then they
what?
just treat him like a normal character after that point.
Before,
I'm like, "What?"
yeah, before I read that, I was like, I'm like, someone's missing here. I can't put my finger on it. And then get to that point, I'm like, oh, it's Snively. And I'm like, wait a minute, Snively? Like,
Yeah,
why
they
is he
don't even
here?
call him like Snively in that scene. I think they
Because
call him like Snarly or
yeah, because it's
something.
supposed to be like his Christmas Carol like name or whatever. And he just
Mhm.
shows up the next issue as just part of Robotnik's gang. He doesn't even say Uncle Robotnik. And then I guess I don't know how long it took Satyam to say that, but
Yeah. But it was just like it was just disorienting because I'm sitting here like,
it's
dude,
like where'd you
this
come
is
from?
like a bit too much of a gag to introduce such a like integral character to
Yeah,
Robotnik's side in a gag one shot. It's like, dude, there's no way.
yeah. But I guess for as much as the art tries to poke fun, okay, the art was mostly good, like I said earlier. But like there were some parts where I think it was during the miniseries, Sonic winks with his iris. Not the whole eye. It was so weird. I don't think his eyebrows move that much. He just winks with his iris. I'm like, why? That looks so strange.
I know.
Um,
There-
the issue where I think it was issue 11 on the B story. After the Evil Sonic one, there finally we get the actual normal Sonic quills. But I forget who the artist was on that. I don't think it actually said it. But the Sally and Tails looked really weird. It was just like whatever, but fine. Well, I'll go with it.
there's so many times where like the change in artist will like disorient me because
Like lick
like
her
I
arms.
yeah, no, I believe there was like one issue or like just it was one panel in general where like it was Sonic talking with Sally, and she looks normal in the like top panel, and then you go to like the bottom left panel. It's like with the pancake batter mix
Yeah, yeah,
when
yeah,
like the spoon is stuck. Her face suddenly looks so flat,
yeah.
and it's just like, dude, what happened to your snout? Like she looks like a My Little Pony character. I I unironically, it's just
It's so
disorienting because
weird
I
looking.
see
Yeah.
that. Yeah, like I see that artwork and I'm just like, that is not that is not Sally.
Hmm.
Here, like I'll show you what I'm talking about right there. But yeah, like
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. It's like she got
yeah,
scrunched up.
like if you just took her head off that like panel, you would assume that's a My Little Pony character.
Yeah. Oh. Oh, I think one. Okay, this is coming to me now. I'm looking through my notes. One of the gags that really got me because I wasn't expecting it was when they go outside Robotropolis to protest, and the SWAT bot goes to Robotnik, and he's like, my lord, there are protesters outside. Wait, there can't be protesters. I outlawed religious freedom, not Protestants. Protesters. I'm just like, what?
It's like, dude, what are you even rambling about? What kid is gonna know what the heck you're talking about?
Like, unless they're Protestant, like, what? Which, I mean, I guess it's like funny as an adult, but it's just, oh my god.
Yeah, it's just such an insane pull, especially when you remember that like it's a comic that's intended for like kids
Kids,
and like
yeah.
young teens to be reading. It's like, dude, even young teens aren't gonna know what the heck that's about. Maybe even some older teens aren't gonna understand that joke.
Maybe, yeah. Um, all right, the house beats you with a hammer.
Oh, during Casino Zone?
Yeah, the casino
Yeah.
nights.
That whole
Like,
thing
oh
was
man.
just so funny. I saw in like the bottom left of like the beginning panel, one of the bad nicks is like hit me, and then he gets hit with a hammer,
Yeah.
and I'm like, dude, that's okay.
It's so funny when the comic tries to tie into one of the games. It's just kind of obvious, not obvious like, no, okay, yeah, it's obvious, but it's just so out of place, I guess, right now. Because when we get Casino Night Zone, and then when it does the Spinball tie-in issue, it's just like it's trying to do like an actual plot, or I get not an actual plot, an actual, I guess, normal narrative, and it's just weird. Like I like them all. Like where did the kangaroos come from in that Spinball issue? Why were
Oh
they there?
my God.
I
Yeah,
mean, I
when
know
they
why they were
showed up,
there, but
yeah, but like when they showed up, my first thought was, oh, these guys are totally like
evil, right?
trap set. Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought they were like like a trap set by Robotnik to like fool him, be like, "Oh, look out ahead. There's these," and then suddenly it's like completely something different, and he's
Hmm.
like not prepared. But no, it just happened to be like two characters that were actually like trying to escape his place, and he's just like he's tweaking in his like camera room, like, "How
It's like,
did
oh
they
my god.
escape? Like, what? It's these kangaroos messing up my plot." And I'm like, dude, how did they escape?
Yeah, right? Like, did they just escape? Speaking of escape, Bunny is
Oh,
her introduction. It was cool. Also
yeah.
struck me because she is, along with Antoine in a later issue, she is one of the only ones to actually do something.
Yeah, it's kind of weird to me also because like she kind of gets like not
Sideline.
dropped, yeah, but she gets sidelined hard.
So
Like
as
we
everyone's
continue to
noticed.
see like yeah, but we still see like a majority of the
Yeah,
freedom fighters. Bunny gets like
nothing.
maybe like a
She'll be in the
few
background.
issues where she'll like actually be like a character in the panel,
True.
but like
Yeah, one of my complaints, I guess, right now is that if you're not Sonic, you're kind of useless. And I understand it obviously it's a Sonic comic,
mhm.
but like I think they're useless to an absurd degree.
Yeah, they
Like
also like
Sally does
run that bit
nothing.
into the ground.
Yeah. Like Sally does absolutely nothing. I like Rotor because he actually gets some technological use.
Oh yeah, he's cool.
Antoine, I kind of want to kill him. I'm gonna be so for real. I want him to get murdered, but he becomes
Yeah,
cool later. I know that he becomes cool later, so I'm just waiting for it.
it just feels kind of lame because like Sonic says, he's just an airhead. It's like when we deal with Antoine, he's like the butt of the joke, kind of.
Yeah, he's always about the joke.
Yeah, and it's just like, man, at least give the man something to do, and that's why I like the issue where he's in the hot air balloon and he actually
Hmm.
like does something at the end. I'm
Like he
like,
kind of
okay,
deserves it, but also like lay off him a little bit, guys. Like come on.
yeah, but like I like bringing up the fact that it feels like very like focus, like integral, like focus on Sonic. It's just like I I I feel like they kind of run the bit a little too hard because like I feel like I could probably like I would need both hands to count how many times
What's
Sonic
it called?
goes,
It's supposed to be
"This is a Sonic
yeah,
comic."
like there was like one that opened up with the scene of Robotnik. I think it's the one where Super Sonic shows up. Good lord, that was weird.
Oh
He's
yeah.
it was the one where Robotnik is like there and he's like, oh, man, it's supposed to be my comic. Like Sonic, shut up, we get it. It was like 3 pages, man. Calm down.
Y- Yeah, like it's it's so like funny to me, but also like, dude, we get it by now. It's just like he can't handle other
Hmm.
characters getting like any spotlight before him, and even when he does get the spotlight first, he's like, yeah, because this is a Sonic comic. Of course, I'd show up on the first page. It's like,
Yeah.
dude,
I would never want actual Sonic to be written this way, but I understand this is coming from a time where Sega of America had their own idea for Sonic, so I'm just kind of accepting it for now.
yeah, but like.
He is kind of annoying though. Like when I read the line, "Way past cool, this joint is juicing."
Oh my God, when he went like literally in the first issue, I love to stick around, but I've got a juice.
Oh
Like,
my
dude,
god.
what does that
I
even
mean,
mean?
I know he says that in the shows, like, 'cause I could hear Jaleel White perfectly saying, "I got a juice." Also, the Jaleel White gag, just gotta mention that offhandedly. That's
Hmm.
fine. But yeah, no, Sonic. Sometimes I'm just like, bro, you need to stop talking. You just need to just get him.
Hmm.
Just kill Robotnik, please.
Like, I don't know. He's so obnoxious sometimes that I'm just sitting here like he's just more annoying Deadpool currently.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we talked about Pseudo Sonic earlier, but we didn't mention the other Sonic in that issue, Swollen Sonic. I
Oh my.
went to avert my eyes when I looked at that monstrosity.
That shit was like I'm honestly surprised that hasn't been like memed to death because like
Yeah,
that feels like
we
that feels like the original like Big Chungus type meme. I'm just sitting there like, dude, there's no way we
we
have a
did come
panel of
across a
just
meme panel. I mean, not really a meme,
oh, did
but the
we?
it was the one where he's lying down on his side. It's been used for the meme
Oh,
where it's like, I
yes,
want animators to be paid more and do less work, which is a correct meme, by the way. But it was really funny. I wasn't expecting to come across it right there.
I know. I remember. It's the one where he's like resting his head on his hand and he's
Yeah.
like all posed up. Yeah, I know. It's like a long paragraph of him like just yapping.
If he did that nowadays in IDW, people would be up and no, I'm just kidding. I mean, that's criticism was
Oh my
sometimes
Lord.
correct, but
Yeah,
it's just
sometimes
kind of
correct,
funny.
but some people blew it out of the water.
Yeah. Um. What? Oh, right. We need to talk about the supersonic thing though.
Oh,
So, like,
yes.
he's just
Yes.
like offhandedly, I collected the 7 Chaos Emeralds and I need 50 rings. Like, what do you mean? I understand. This is like tying in for the game stuff. Teach the kids that Supersonic exists in Sonic 2. But you'd think, because it's a gag issue, you'd think Supersonic would have more, like, I guess, gravitas because it's Supersonic. He could turn the tide. He could theoretically end this whole conflict.
Yeah, it's just like like not even just to mention like when you say he could end this whole conflict, there are so many moments where they could definitely just finish off Robotnik or
Hmm.
like just like save the day type thing, but they just decide not to. We'll get into that, but like Supersonic is like really hilarious because they go on like first off, I the amount of times like I think it's twice that they really say it, but like they bring up playing the Sega Genesis
Hmm.
for like certain bits, or
Casino Night,
like
right?
yeah, like for Supersonic, they literally show a Genesis controller and they
Yeah.
say, "Help Sonic
Get
gather
his
the
rings. Yeah.
rings."
Like, do you want me to go to Emerald Hill Zone and go to the special stage? Like, all right, guys. What if the
Yeah,
kids were playing Sonic One? Right? That's not how you get them there. No. But
exactly.
um, I think this is the first time I actually think I've seen Western Supersonic because
Oh yeah,
yeah, because every time you see Supersonic,
I mean
whether
this is
it's
also his first introduction in general in the
yeah,
West.
like whether you see if you read from the panels I've seen of Fleetway or just Japanese stuff in general, he has like the same quilled shape. So Supersonic just like kind of looks normal. But I've never
Mhm.
seen Mohawk Sonic have Supersonic before, so that was just like really weird to look at. Where
It's disorienting.
it was trying to spike up the quills because it did, but also
His quills look a little like shadows.
yeah, I think yeah, it's trying to be like the Sonic Adventure Supersonic quills, but there's not enough quills to do it,
Hmm.
so it's just kind of like weird.
It is.
I mean, it was cool to see it this early, considering I know like he's gonna show up at some point to fight Knuckles, but he,
It's just like really early pull and kind of
it's like
unnecessary
issue
if we're
4 or 6, right? It's just like it just happens. It's just giant burrow bot.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
it's like, did you really need to go super for this? Like, I'm sure you could have come up with a solution without needing to
Probably.
go super. But it's just like it's cool to see its introduction so early. It's just kind of like,
And like a
dang, I
gag
feel
era,
like,
yeah.
yeah, it's just like I feel like that should have been held for something like more important.
Although they probably were expecting this comic to just like get canceled almost immediately. So they're probably like, whatever, we'll just do what we want.
Yeah,
Yeah, you go,
I,
Mike
uh,
Gallagher. You do what you feel like.
it's like it's cool, but I will say like from like uh the issue before that one, I thought what was a cool like robot was the Universal Amander.
Oh yeah, where which is like a normal ass salivation.
Yeah, he like throws it in the robot machine and like
I think
the
that was after.
Buzzbot
Was that
like
after it actually? I think that was after.
was that after? I feel like that was before.
Whatever, it's not important. It doesn't. The order of these things don't matter.
Yeah, it's all gags. It's episodic,
Yeah,
but yeah, I thought
that was
Universal
funny.
Amander was cool. Yeah, he had a cool design for like the original stuff. So
Yeah.
he was definitely one of the robots that stood out to me. I think him and oh my God, can we talk about the Nerbs? I was gonna talk
Nerds.
about one of the robots that shows up
Nerds.
in that,
Oh my
but
god.
the Nerbs are so like, dude, what are you? You
What
guys
are
look
these
like the
guys?
silly string worms that like
Or
twirl around the
like
finger.
you know like the bean guys from Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga?
Oh my God, yeah,
They look like those guys.
they do.
And it was so weird. I'm like, what the hell is a nerd? And then the
They
gag where
were.
Tails just keeps calling them nerds.
I like no, not even just that. Like I feel like everyone just kept calling them
Yeah,
nerds, and
but
then at the
at
very
the end
end
it
they're
was
in like
just
the nerd
Tails.
outfit. Yeah,
Yeah. I was like, what are we looking at?
that was also the issue where the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles
Yeah,
showed
because
up
he broke open
because
the sewer in the river show. Like, how? Like, I
yeah,
guess they're dead in this universe now. Rest in
yeah,
peace. Rest in peace, Turtles.
like a once again, why does this comic think that it's him? Like they just reference everything like it's nothing, and it's like, dude.
I mean, it's funny, but it is also like, all right, guys, just calm down.
Mhm. But what I wanted to say from the Nerb issue was I thought that Robotnik's
The
giant
robot.
robot excavator was cool.
I like that.
It, yeah, it was like it gave me like three-headed serpent kind of
Yeah,
vibes,
like
but like
Hydra. Yeah.
yeah, because it has like the drill arm and then it has the like scooper arm and then the
hmm
top is like the dragon head.
Yeah. It's I like some of the designs in this. It is funny to see Badniks and SWAT bots alongside each other because I guess well, SatAM does have the Buzz Bombers, but this is like full on close to Badnik, like kind of how Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog does it with Scratch and Grounder and Coconuts.
Hmm.
Yeah, so it's just weird to see both of them side by side because I'm so used to them like these two aesthetics being completely segmented from each other. But I do like swap bots, even though I don't know. I guess it's good that they were phased out eventually. But I do like the
Yeah.
designs.
Yeah, it just brings a little bit more diversity to Robotnik's side for the gag comic. It
Also, the
allows him
swap
more
bots are
stuff to
funny.
use. Mm,
The
they
swap
are.
bots are just like, yeah, man, I'll do whatever. Speaking of Robotnik's robots, why are they programmed to insult him? It's funny,
Uh,
but I'm just like,
my liveness.
oh, obese one.
It's like not even just that, because like at first I'm like, okay, maybe he
The
like
effective one.
doesn't mind that he gets called that, right? But like immediately,
He
not
killed them.
immediately. There's a chapter, not a chapter. There's an issue where
Active Street, Mike.
it's the issue where they're like protesting, right?
hmm
And when he sees the three, he like comes up with an insult for each one. But when he sees Rotor, he calls him he's like, and that one is just obese or whatever. And I'm like, dude, you're fatter
Also,
than
did
him.
one of the robots then say he's like, "You're one to talk," and he just completely ignored it?
Yeah, and I'm like, so does he not want to be called fat? But like, then why is he using fat as an insult? It's just like it feels very. I mean, I guess it's fitting for Robotnik to be a
hmm
hypocrite, but it's like at the same time, it's like you're not exactly making this clear here. Do you want them to call you
Yeah,
fat?
it's just that the amount of times they call him fat is great. Or when he'll like misunderstand what they're telling him, he'll just kill them. I thought Crabmeat was fully dead when he died, I think in issue 3. And then he came back in the next issue. I was like, oh, thank God, he's back. I love Crabmeat. Crabmeat
And
the
then he
goat.
almost kills him
He
again
killed. I know. I
because
think he
of.
does kill him again. Because he's like,
Oh,
oh, I
he
need the
does.
spare
Okay.
parts. He
Yeah, yeah,
just throws the
for
swamp
the
pot.
superhero issue, yeah.
Yeah,
But like then doesn't Crabmeat come back later? Because like
yeah.
he's like yeah. So
I think he
it's
just has
like
multiple Crabmeats.
it's just funny. He like replaces Crabmeat
Right,
every
because
time with a new Crabmeat.
Crabmeat's the only one who dies. The Orbonaut doesn't die. The Drill Guy doesn't die, I think. No, he doesn't. I'm pretty sure he doesn't die. Scratch and
No,
Grounder and Coconuts don't die. It's just Crabmeat. Crabmeat's the only one who dies.
Crabmeat is like the like the Kenny from South Park for Sonic. Just dies every issue and then
Yeah.
comes back the next.
Like, Lord, why does he have to hurt my man? Crabmeat, you're too good for him. Join the Freedom Fighters.
For real. Like give him a break. Let him breathe, man.
Hmm. All right, so I guess we can talk about issue 11.
Oh,
So
please.
beforehand, I'm like, all right, it's probably going to be a little bit before we get to the Ken Pender stuff. I know he worked on the Knuckles introduction stuff because I've
Mhm.
seen a few videos just about Archie in general, and I then I got to issue 11, and I see co-written by Ken Penders. Now, of course, I haven't seen much of his actual stuff in context on my own, so I'm going to keep an open mind, despite some of
Yeah.
the interesting things I have seen.
Yeah, but
But
for the start it seems good.
honestly, yeah, he did fine. I think he was good during this gag stuff, but it was just weird, funny to see how he ended off just at the beginning of this man who was pretty much kept this comic in notoriety.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, then of course, Evil Sonic.
Oh my god,
Also,
it's him.
it's like we all, I
The-
know like a lot of people love Scourge. I also like Scourge from what I've read of him, but yeah, Evil Sonic is just it's also the first time the comic goes into the multiverse, which it loves doing in the future. I know that.
yeah, in Sonic Universe.
Yeah, it's yeah. I guess it's the beginning of a lot of the core staples of it.
Hmm.
It was cool to see. I guess Evil Sonic. I actually thought he was fine in the issue. It was cool though. I felt bad for the normal Freedom Fighters. They were just kind of waiting for Sonic to show up again.
Yeah, they were just kind of sidelined because he was like busy in the
Hmm.
reverse world. But I mean, hey, the good, the bad, and the hedgehog. We got our boy introduced.
Yeah, his design is so funny. Just literally just a jacket and glasses.
Yeah, it's quite literally like the best way to say it is he's quite literally just Greaser Sonic. That's like the
Yeah,
vibe that they give off.
yeah. And we didn't see
Yeah.
anyone else except for Robotnik. We didn't
Oh
see
my
any of the
God,
other
yeah,
Freedom
because
Fighters.
we only get to see the reverse freedom fighters
Like a speech
through
bubble, right?
Evil Sonic's speech bubble.
Yeah.
He's like
It's like
everybody's
their heads,
reversed
right?
here.
Wait, were they even redesigned,
Yeah.
or was it just like their normal heads?
Uh, I think they were kind of redesigned, not like anything crazy.
Mm-hmm.
They were generally like the same. I think Antoine had like a kind of like more of like a punk eye patch on him
Mm-hmm.
or something, but it wasn't like
That's funny,
anything
yeah.
crazy for their redesigns. I think it's funny that like for some reason like I mean we call him Evil Sonic, but I feel like the more accurate term is more just Reverse Sonic because it's called the Reverse World. But like
True. I mean,
in
honestly, from what we know, he would be evil Sonic. And this one, he was just kind of assholes. I mean, Sonic's already an
yeah,
asshole. Super mean asshole Sonic. Oh, I guess.
yeah, this is like Puppy Stomper Sonic. But like it's just I want to know how mainline Sonic is like so confused, and for some reason Reverse Sonic over here is just like,
He's like, yeah,
yeah,
go multiverse.
let me tell you about it real quick. Okay, here's how it works. You went a little bit too far over the
Yeah,
line
wait to
in
the
the
special
special
zone.
zone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you came into the reverse world. It's like, dude, how do you
How do you know this?
fucking
Did you
know
go?
this? Yeah, like are you a world hopper? Is this like your thing? Do you just like take trips into the reverse
Now
world?
you
Like what's
see.
going on
You
here?
see, now you see the real answer is don't think about it. But,
Exactly, because it's a gag, obviously, but
yeah.
it's still like amusing to think about. It's like they really didn't think that through much, did they?
Yeah, it was just like we need to explain this. We have no one else yet because, of course, Sonic doesn't exist yet. Well, let's
Hmm.
say Sonic doesn't exist like with a Z, but that was ooh okay. That's
Like
it's
I guess a good excuse could be like since it's reverse Sonic, right? So like since mainline Sonic isn't like necessarily like the smartest cookie in the bunch, like he's like
he's smart.
maybe like yeah, maybe reverse Sonic is like smarter because I mean it's also like Robotnik's a good guy and he's more of like an actual doctor in that
Yeah,
universe,
but
right? So
he is
like
still super smart though because he has the tower and he pretty much cures everyone.
Yeah, which is just kind of like weird because it's like it feels like I get that it's supposed to be like reverse world, but once again another moment of like they didn't think this through fully is like it's not really like completely reversed.
I
It's
think
like
it's really just
they
reversed in terms of personality, is not anything
yeah,
else
yeah,
about them.
it's a morality reversal. That's what it is. It's
Oh,
like
wait, hold on. To get off of issue 11 for a second. We're
yeah.
saying reverse made me think about Sonic in reverse, and I'm like the slow thing. So the Olympics issue, that when he had the energy, I'm like thinking, wait, is this kind of an adaptation of Sonic Labyrinth? Do you know what Sonic Labyrinth is?
I do not.
Okay, so basically in this game, Eggman breaks into Sonic's house, and instead of killing him, he replaces his shoes with slow shoes, and then he
Mhm.
traps him in a labyrinth. That's it. He doesn't kill him. He doesn't do anything else. He just puts slow shoes on him and tells him to get through his labyrinth. And I'm just like, Eggman, what the hell are you doing? But anyway, it doesn't like suck Sonic's energy. It's like one of those top-down puzzle games where you have to like move Sonic around, and he's super slow. The only fast way to move is a spin dash.
Mhm.
But anyway, to get back to Archie, when he got the slow energy shoes, I'm like, wait a minute, are they trying to do like a little bit of labyrinth here? Not really, but it was still just kind of funny how I immediately thought that, because then the very next issue was the actual tie-in for Spinball.
Oh my god, yeah, the spin mill issue, but like, yeah, no, like the energy draining shoes was like, I can see what you mean that it could be like a nod to that, but
Mm-hmm.
like, it was just
That's so funny.
amusing to me in general because like, dude was just chilling, right? And he didn't,
He
I don't
didn't
even know why
realize.
he had his shoes off to begin
Yeah,
with,
why did he
kind
have
of.
his shoes off? I forget.
Yeah,
Is there a
yeah,
reason, or did he just have them off?
no, he just had them off because he wasn't like in the water or anything. And either way, he keeps his shoes on whenever he's in like underwater parts or anything. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not like there was a necessary like
Yeah,
reason for him to have them off. But
I mean, he might just
at
be
the same
dramatic.
time, it's like if he had them off, the whole like reason he's able to run to begin with is because of his shoes. Like they're durable, so like they keep his feet from like getting
Yeah,
hurt. So it's like, why didn't they just like take away his shoes in general,
put
or like
spikes in
first
his
off
shoes.
like there were so many things that could have like they could have chosen there. It's
You
just kind
know,
of like more evidence on like is
or
Robotnik stupid or
I
does
think,
he just
yeah,
want to have
obviously it's
fun?
for gags, yeah. But I honestly, at least it's not like Sonic Underground, or I haven't seen Underground. But I'm pretty sure the reason why Sonic can move fast is because he has like a necklace or something. That's
Oh,
stupid. I hate that.
that yeah, that's dumb. Like there
Um,
shouldn't be like a in canon reason for why he has his speed.
what do
He's
you
just
mean?
fast.
You mean Maurice the Hedge? Actually, I really hope it's not
Oh,
Canon Archie. They don't. I no, it's not Canon Archie because the
my
backstory makes
my
no
middle
sense.
name is Speed. Actually, it's Maurice, but don't
But
tell anyone.
yeah, but there's like some backstory comic for, I think it's for the games, for the Western one, where it's like Eggman becomes evil because he absorbed eggs and the Chaos Emerald's energy, and that turns Sonic blue and fast. Yeah,
Like yeah, I don't even know how to respond to that. Like I
no,
guess that
just
yeah.
don't. It's dumb.
Yeah.
It's dumb. It's really stupid.
Yeah, I don't got nothing for that one.
Yeah, but I guess to continue off this tangent, as that issue, while I enjoyed it, it was part of the reason why I was thinking about how the Freedom Fighters are kind of useless because everyone sucks at their
Oh
own
my god.
events, and then
Yeah.
Sonic comes in and is like, "Oh yeah, distract Robotnik, Antoine wins, baby."
Like Antoine was like I don't even know how to say it. Like in the jump section, it was obvious why he lost. But
Hmm.
then it gets to the running section, and man, was that pathetic. He like loses win so easy, and by the
Yeah,
time he reaches the end, he's dazed.
like
He's
how are
like,
any of them alive?
I
How are the
know.
Freedom
I'm
Fighters
just
not dead?
like, how do you guys run from like badniks all the time and stuff? Like, are
Yeah,
you just like, are you
are you
guys
stupid?
not physically able? Like, how are you guys the freedom fighters? The only person
They're
here that's like actually like significant besides Sonic is Bunny right now.
yeah. I mean, Tails is like okay-ish, but if he has
Yeah,
Sonic with him, and then it's just Bunny, who, if the plot lets her, she can punch him. Then
yeah,
Antoine, because gag.
yeah.
Sally has done less than Antoine.
Oh my God, Sally does like nothing.
I like
He's just,
Sally. I like Sally more than Antoine in this, but boy, is Antoine actually more useful, and it's kind of funny.
I do, but sometimes Sally annoys me. She gets like
Oh yeah,
annoyed or like upset with like the littlest things, and it's just like, dude, you got to be like more thankful to your like your followers.
well, to be
If
fair, Sonic is a little shit. So.
he is a little shit, but like sometimes she's like, I feel like she's a little out of line. Like during the moment where like the issue where she's they're all in like Halloween costumes, right? And
Yeah.
she's like, Robotnik
Oh,
thinks
she
that
literally
he's
does the meme at the end where you know what I'm talking about?
uh
Where it's the meme where basically it's like they kiss like this girl kisses someone. It's like that's for saving me, and just slaps him, and that's for making me worried.
Yeah, she literally does that. No, you're right. I it's so it's she's like that's for saving me and that's for
Boom.
lying to me that you were like following me and watching over me. It's
You see,
like,
it's
dude,
like you see out of context that'd be kind of screwed up. But also, Sonic kind of deserves that, so I think I'll let that one slide.
mhm. It's just like small gripes where I'm kind of like if you wasn't like watching, you'd be in big trouble right now. So it's like,
Yeah,
mm,
it's alright. It's whatever.
it's very
Um,
50-50. Both sides are in the wrong, but it's
Speaking
like,
of
man,
50-50, horizontal and vertical.
don't get me started. I did want to bring them up at some point. I was
I
sitting
was
there
waiting.
like,
Yeah, we gotta segment them.
yeah, I was like, who
Who
are
are
these
you?
two?
I know they come back, and I
They
forget
do.
exactly because I read Game Apologist. Your videos are great, and that's how I know who they are. But I know they come back in some weird, screwed up way, and it's gonna be so weird.
I'm waiting for it, but no, it was just so funny. Like the first
Just ripped them
introduction, I
off the
was like,
basics.
I was like, what? Who
What
are
are
you guys?
you?
What are you
It's
guys?
like
Yeah,
he went further into the special zone, and that's how he found them.
it's like there seems to be a lot of depth to the special zone here for some
Yeah,
reason. Like we have the too far into the special zone and too far beyond
into
the
the
line
multiverse.
in the
Yeah,
special zone. Yeah, and I'm like, okay, so what defines too far into the special zone and what defines going over the line?
we'll figure it
Because
out.
would it going over the line mean you went too far into the special zone?
Yeah,
So is there like different paths into
probably.
different
I
lines? So
think
like,
because like some of the lines
yeah.
went to other comics because if you look on the paths, there's like a bunch. There's blank. I forget like Molly Lane, something Lane, and then Lois, and then the lane is blocked out.
Uh,
So one of the paths goes to the DC's world.
mhm.
Um, like another reference to other comics.
I mean, we've gotten quite a few of DC references, like
Yeah.
the Superman death comic, the one where it's
Right?
like
Oh my
Sonic
god, we
will
didn't even
not
talk about
die.
that. Where it's
That's
just the
it.
Superman Doomsday death.
Oh my God, yeah. When you first like showed me that, I was like, there's no way they referenced it, and I got to it myself, and I was like,
Dear God.
oh my Lord.
Yeah.
That whole page is so funny to me because I'm just sitting there like, why is there like it's literally just top 10 reasons why Sonic the Hedgehog is him. That is the definition of that page. It's just them trying to like
Yeah.
stroke their ego.
It's like Sonic is him, not because he just is. He won't die. He's fast. What were
And
some
the
of the other
whole
ones?
page is just
The six
references.
S's, right? No, the six
Yeah.
S's were Scratch and Grounder.
Ah,
Like,
yeah.
it's so weird.
Here, I have like the page pulled up, and it's
Hmm.
just like first off, number 10 is literally just a reference to the battery brand with the bunny
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
hitting
yeah.
the
Duracell, right?
yeah, Duracell. Yeah, 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 you're right. And I'm just sitting here like, what? Because like number 10, the Sonic comic requires no batteries, and it's
Okay.
like, dude,
I
what?
think is this
Who
supposed to
even
be like
thought?
a Genesis joke, a Game Gear joke? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, because like those don't even like those don't even need batteries. Like I
Well,
would.
the Game Gear needs a battery. That thing needed six
Game Gear
AA
needs batteries.
batteries.
Yeah, yeah. But it's like whenever they make a game reference, it's about the
The Genesis,
Genesis.
yeah, they never
So it
referenced
can't.
the Game Gear, even with Spinball. So,
Mhm.
it,
So it's just like, what do you mean the Sonic comic requires no batteries? And and the other ones are just like silly. I mean, like the bottom left panel on the first page is like Robotnik with Wolverine claws,
oh
and then
yeah, yeah,
right
yeah,
next
yeah,
to
yeah,
it,
yeah. That was
yeah,
so strange. Oh,
it's
right when
just
he
like,
misread Wolverine.
yeah.
That was another issue. What did it turn into? Oh, that was the Julia White joke. It was like Wool or
Oh,
Colleen, and I
yeah.
was like, oh my god.
It like that's also just like an insane pull. It's like what kid, what teen even knows
They
like
just wanted
this
to make the
reference?
Julia White joke.
They
They
did.
just wanted the Julia White reference, man. Like that, I don't like the kids were like, "Oh, that's funny. It's a guy." Yeah, kid,
Hmm.
it's a guy. I mean, they
Well,
did have the editor's note that said Julia White is Sonic.
yeah. But while we're on the topic of like the gags, I think one of my one of the gags that like made me happier to see was Sonic the Hedgehog in Silent Running, which is the one where he's playing baseball and like
Yeah,
rotors in the middle,
Sonic
and he
people.
does the yeah, exactly. That's what got me excited because I saw that and I was like, "Yo, wait, is this what Sonic 1 was referencing?" That's kind of cool. Like a reference to this
Probably,
like one
maybe.
gag. It probably like happens multiple times in other comics or whatever, of course, but it's like it's cool to see it
They're
this
gonna
early and
pretend to
immediately
joke.
be like, yeah, I would like to believe that it's a reference to this specifically.
Hmm. So where were you going with that?
Where was I going with it? I was just wanting to
To mention
really
that.
bring it up because I was like, I thought it was cool that like it was like Sonic like the
The
first
Hedgehog.
movie, and I was
Yeah.
like, that's cool that like we get that so early,
Hmm.
and it makes the reference a little bit cooler in the movie.
Another thing that I would like to, it's not a reference, but it's considering how Archie is linked with Sonic Chronicles. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like Ken Pender's sued EA for Sonic Chronicles, and Ken Pender's drawing Archie. Now, this is not a Ken Pender's issue. This is from the what I'm going to talk about is the panel where Sonic can you can make Sonic choose his answer.
Oh, the triple answer against Tails, and one
Yep.
of them is like I forget the actual like outcomes. I think I have it somewhere, but it's like one of them is like you can choose like the editor's fault or
Yep.
whatever. Like,
But yeah,
yeah,
basically, like my where I was going with that is in Sonic Chronicles. Sometimes you can choose Sonic's response, because it's a Bioware game, so you know how Bioware games are just like choose your answer.
yeah.
But this one doesn't actually have any branching paths. It's just you just make Sonic can be an asshole for no reason.
Oh my
Um,
God, yeah, because there's one choice that's literally just "cause I said so," and it's
yeah,
like, dude, why would
it's like,
Sonic
bro,
say
calm
that to
down,
Tails?
calm down, buddy. It's just Tails.
Yeah, it's like, why are we making him into Fleetway over here?
Yeah. Good lord, yeah. There's just like so many things here. But anyway, for that long tangent, back to issue 11. After what? That was
Okay,
probably like
yeah.
10 minutes or something, right?
Yeah, we spinned off there, but we were talking about Evil Sonic and
Mm-hmm.
Reverse World and just in
Oh yeah, it
general
was
that
funny
issue.
how good Robotnik helped him with the
Oh yeah.
speaker. And then
Mm.
wait, so it caused wait, so did Robotnik's machine blow up because it was trying to spit out so fast, or was it this tiny machine somehow did it? I think it was that it was trying to spit it out faster, right?
I think it was trying to spit it out faster because it was
Okay.
just trying to like pollute the world and it was just
Yeah.
like not being able to keep up.
So yeah, that was, that was so weird. Yeah, again, the multiverse thing is so weird seeing that in the 11th issue of the main book and the 15th issue of the comic overall. Um, One thing I guess I wish though, I think that could have had more overall, I guess, weight to it is I think the comic it has some cool things of world building, but there's no other characters really other than like the principal cast.
Hmm.
It's just kind of the freedom fighters, Robotnik, and whatever badniks that are there, but there's no other like citizens of Knothole.
Yeah,
It's
like
just
we
they
get
say it exists. It's just no one's there.
exactly because there's the scene where it's one of the gag panels, one of the gag pages, and it's like Sonic like
What
being
is it?
able to do a bunch of
200,
things in
right?
2 minutes. Yeah, and he
Yeah,
he gives like 200 newspapers around Knothole, and you see all the like the line of doors.
yeah.
And it's like okay, so there are other people, but like how
We never
come
see them. Yeah,
we always see only the main cast in like the big center of
yeah. Like
Knothole,
it's not
right?
even like they're not even vaguely drawn. They just don't exist.
Exactly. They don't even like draw labels on the rest of the doors. There's only
Hmm.
like the names and labels on the main cast doors.
Yes, I know they're gonna appear soon, but I just kind of wish there was more of that because I guess it would make the evil world more of a big deal other than just seeing Sonic and Robotic. I know it's because these are only taking up half an issue for these
Yeah.
stories, but still, yeah, the world building is kind of it's not all there yet. But there is some cool locations like how the Mobius Park is completely trashed, or just Robotropolis in general.
Hmm. It like we said at the very start, it gives off very like Garfield comic strip and
Yeah,
newspaper kind of energy where it's like we haven't hit like any of the world building. Like we just haven't
It's
seen
just stuff.
anyone else yet. It's quite literally like the comparison of like if you like started reading Garfield, it's just like John Garfield and Odie,
Yeah.
and then like eventually you see like Nermal and like other characters
Mm-hmm.
start appearing,
True.
and like we're just kind of waiting for that world building to start, where like it starts to move away from that comic strip feel.
Yeah. I do like where the comics are. I say even with the things we said. I think right now it's enjoyable. You know, good 7 out of 10. I'm
Yeah.
waiting to see what's gonna happen. I'm wondering when shit's gonna hit the fan. With not I don't mean in terms of story. I mean in terms of quality.
Oh, you mean like when it's gonna start looking a bit ugly or
Just in general, you know. Well. I know
yeah.
the Princess Sally miniseries is gonna have the greatest character of all time, Jeffrey St. John. I have read him before. He's in that game. I don't like him.
Hmm.
Um, yeah.
In reminds me of in the Halloween panel once again.
Hmm.
Tails is wearing like a skunk outfit.
Yeah. They took inspiration for Jeffrey St. John.
I know.
Totally.
But
It's good 15 issues to
yeah,
read through.
I think it's a good start. I mean, it was a nice end off to really get to
Get Benders.
see evil Sonic and like yeah, not even just that. The fact that like we got like
Honestly, even
Pen
without
Pender's
Evil Sonic,
introduction.
yeah, it's the fact
Yeah.
that we get vendors, and I'm just like, oh god, it's starting
Yeah.
already.
Yeah, it's like, oh, we're here. This is the start of the end.
Yeah, but don't worry, we are going with an open mind. I'm not gonna try and like hate because
Yeah, of course.
I know eventually like with the influence stuff, it will get recontextualized. I do like
And
what
like
I've read of the influence stuff, so we're
mm,
very
and
excited.
like not all of Pender's stuff is necessarily
Yeah,
bad, but a good chunk of it definitely is like but
it's just
we'll have
weird.
to see.
Well, yeah,
We'll
we'll
be able
see.
to give our own opinion on like his writing when we get to
Hmm.
that point.
So,
But
do you have anything else you want to mention, or should we start wrapping things up?
let me think. Let me
Yeah, let
see
me
if there
scroll
was
back through my
anything
notes
else.
real quick. I mean, there was all Termite Nader. That was a weird one.
Terminator was kind of just like interesting, like obviously a Terminator reference, but it was
Yeah,
like yeah, I don't know. Um we already kind of talked about basically everything. I think like we brought it up for like a short bit before, but Bunny's cool. I
hmm
think the backstory is a little bit whack. Her getting like turned halfway robot by one of the robot
true.
maker machines. Cause like also it was just a little bit weird to me. Cause like how did if she got turned halfway right, then
Would she be
why did
dead?
her arm get turned
I think,
into
yeah,
a
honestly, it's like, I think it's a good backstory that's just not exactly hurts, but just kind of weird because of the execution and style of the comic right now.
yeah, it's like I get it, but it's just like if it were halfway, wouldn't only half of her arm be
Yeah,
robotic?
but
And
honestly, I
like,
don't think her design would look as good with, like,
yeah, of
full
course
arms.
not. I like her
Oh,
design
yeah.
as is. I just think it's like the explanation isn't exactly perfect,
Hmm.
but
Yeah, it was
I
fine
like
for what the
her.
comic wants to do. It was good to at least have two issues where people actually did something that wasn't Sonic.
Yeah,
I hope it
I
can just
like that.
extend it to everyone else.
Definitely. I mean, we'll get some more of that. I mean, the Tail solo adventure was a little bit
That was
more of a
fun, yeah.
glimpse of that. Yeah, we're just kind of like waiting for that moment where
Hmm.
Tails gets a little bit more
Yeah,
competent
it's
in the
none of this
comics.
is actively not enjoyable. The paneling is good. The art is generally good. I'm ready for some of my other like the artists I like the I forget who does Metal Madness, but Metal Madness's art goes crazy. So I'm excited for like one of my favorite artists to like show up.
Yeah, I can't wait.
So yeah, I guess to remind everyone still watching, we will be doing this around once a week, 15 issues. So if you want to catch up by yourself, you got until next week.
Yep.
Um, so I guess we can end it off there.
I
All
mean,
right,
I'm down.
all right.
Feels like a good spot to end it.
It's been 53 minutes. We said before this we wouldn't have much to talk about, and we've been here for almost an hour.
We were
So
able to we were able to turn it all into a nice long talk, which is surprising because, like we said, it was all gags.
I
But I think that also makes it a little
I'm
bit
kind
easier
of
because we
horrified.
of what the length of our
I
videos are going to be later down.
we may have to start capping it at some point because like
We will. I mean, we'll trim
we
it down.
had basic stuff to talk about this week. What are we gonna get? when we start getting evil Sonic pretending to be Sonic, or just
Oh,
the echidna stuff in general. Like, what are we gonna do?
yeah, because we're
Uh,
gonna go in depth. We're gonna be laughing our asses off.
oh
Like,
my god, that's gonna be glorious.
I can't wait. But yeah, you're right. We will cap it
We'll
off,
see.
and
We'll
we'll like
see, everyone.
trim
We'll,
down.
we'll see what
Mm,
happens.
exactly.
I guess this was fun. I guess we'll see you all next week. Goodbye, everybody.
Adios. Or fuck. What? I was gonna make a Sonic joke here. I was gonna be
You can
like,
do it. We still going. You can make your joke.
okay. Hasta la vista,
I
mistas.
swear to God. Okay, you know what? No, we're ending this now. Goodbye.